All right. Just a quick one for you. This is the Mike Farrell Sports Show. MikeFarrellSports.com, M Farrell Sports on Twitter, M Farrell Sports on Instagram, both verified accounts. I think it's Mike Farrell Sports on TikTok, not verified. I don't know what their problem is. I gotta shave my ears. What's wrong with my ears? You get older, ear hair. It's ridiculous. Anyways, what am I here to talk about? All right, Caleb Johnson, transfer linebacker from UCLA, visited Miami. He also visited Texas this week. He's going to announce his decision probably tomorrow or Saturday. He won't tell me who, but it was Miami heading into the Texas visit, but he loved the Texas visit. I still think it's Miami. It's my guess, but it wouldn't shock me at all if it's Texas. So those are two that he's down to. There are some interesting new entries. Eric Gentry is one of them. He's a linebacker at Arizona State. He had 45 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 sack as a true freshman, right? From Philly. So you'd think, oh, he's going to go back home. No, I've been told he's going to stay out west. I don't know. Well, I kind of know who, but I can't say just yet. But I think he's going to stay out west. We've talked to Marius Mims going back to Georgia. I have not had or heard anything on Clay Webb. I always pictured Clay Webb being a Pittman guy and going to Arkansas, but he's been silent. G Hall, of course, is going to Texas. I think that's a great fit for him to sort of reset his career and just sort of find a fit in that offense. The Alabama offense, Alabama is very demanding. He's a free spirit type of kid. I think he'll have a little bit more freedom. He and Xavier Worthy are both free spirit type of kids, and I think they'll be a great 1-2 punch. And don't forget Isaiah Nair there from Wyoming. So the Texas offense is going to look really, really good. Really, really good. What else are we talking about? I was on Full Ride today, radio. We're talking about Texas and what they can do. I think it's an 8-4 season. The problem, got Alabama early in the season. They're going to get croaked there, and then they got Oklahoma in the rivalry game. They might get croaked there too. If they can win one of those two, and it's not going to be Alabama, if they can beat Oklahoma, I think Sark is going to have a lot of momentum. Really good running back room, solid offensive line, not great. Wide receivers, as I just mentioned, are very, very good with the addition of Hall. Defense is a question. DeMarvion Overshone is going to be great. Keon Coburn in the middle is going to be good. They got a couple edge guys that have promise, but the defense is my concern for them, especially in the Big 12. So I think 8-4. I don't see them winning the Big 12. The ESPN FPI rankings had them 6th in the country. No, that's impossible. Pitt 9. No, that's not happening. And Auburn 10. Like, what's going on with the FPI? Auburn's not going to be good. So anyways, let's see what else is coming through. I just interviewed Jamal Jarrett, 4-star defensive tackle from North Carolina. He came out with his top 5 today: Auburn, LSU, Clemson, Georgia, North Carolina. I think it's between Georgia and North Carolina. He's got the home state UNC thing going on, but Georgia's his favorite. Jordan Davis comparisons. He's 6'5". He's 355 pounds. Kid's awesome. Really, really good. And the new athletic 350-pound D tackle, the Vita Vea, Jordan Davis of the world. He could be the next one. And whoever gets him is going to get a guy who can play a 3 technique or nose. And I think that's going to be crucial. What else was I talking about today? Oh, I did my top 5 Big Ten teams. Didn't put Michigan in there. They flipped out. I get it. They went to the playoff last year. The schedule kind of sucks. But everybody has sort of forgotten how disappointing Michigan teams have been prior to last season. Yeah, they got over the hump and beat Ohio State. Are they going to do that this year? No. Michigan State, I still think is a better football team than them. And I also had Iowa and Purdue and Wisconsin. Now, Purdue, you're like, what? Aiden O'Connell's the real deal. And that Purdue football team has a lot of talent, guys you've never heard of. They can run the ball, they can pass, and their defense is underrated. So they're my sneaky one in the top 5. They're the one that kind of went in there instead of Michigan. Penn State fans pissed that they're not in there either, but I just don't believe in the quarterback situation there. Iowa is Iowa. They're going to be good. They lost some key parts. Obviously, Linderbaum at center, Tyler Goodson at running back, but they've got replacements, and they've got a lot of talent up front. They're going to be able to run the ball, control the clock, play good defense, win enough games to be a top 5 team. And Wisconsin the same way. If Graham Mertz can actually take a step forward, it would be even better, but we'll have to see if that happens. But yeah, I could be way wrong. I mean, Michigan could be the 3rd best team. I don't think they're the 2nd best team. They could be the 5th best team, but new coordinators on offense, defense, quarterback still hasn't worked out to the level that you can win games coming from behind. You can win them if you're in the lead with those guys, but not from behind. Wide receivers are okay. Everybody says the depth is great, but there's not a star, and even when they had a great player like Donovan Peoples-Jones, they never used him properly anyways. And you lose 2 elite pass rushers on defense, a key safety who covered a whole lot of ground for you. You got to have people step up, and I think they will, but I think a step back for Michigan is definitely in play. And this could be back to the mediocre 8-4 season. If they go 9-3, they're a top 5 team probably in the Big Ten. But if they go 8-4, people are going to be like, "Oh, Harbaugh's back. He's mailing it in. He didn't get the NFL job he wanted, blah, blah, blah." I could just see all that happening. I may be wrong, but I could see that happening. What else did I put out there that you people hate? Oh, I also put out 5 teams that can never break through. And by never, I don't mean never. I mean, never is not true, but just don't break through. Texas A&M, one of them. Never won anything. Now they're in the SEC, they never won anything. Beat Bama last year, great, 8-4. Little brother to Texas, even though Texas stinks. They're just not breaking through. Wisconsin, get to the title game, lose 56-0 to Ohio State. Iowa, get to the title game, lose to a not so great Michigan State team. You both of you had your chances to go to the playoff. Wisconsin a couple times, couldn't do it. Utah won the Pac-12 last year, finally, right? Didn't even sniff the playoff because the Pac-12 is not going to get a team in there unless there's 12-team playoff. So they can't break through either. And I forget who the other one was. Why do I always forget? It's crazy. I had 2 Big Ten teams. I had a Pac-12 team. I had Texas A&M. Oh, Oklahoma State was the other one. Always the little brother to Oklahoma. Good seasons. Go to a bowl every year. Mike Gundy's a great coach, but I don't really know. I don't see a whole lot of breakthrough potential there. We're talking about going to the playoff and winning a national championship, but that's just me. And a couple of last things I'll talk about the draft. With this wide receiver situation, right? Christian Kirk, it's not his fault, but the Jacksonville Jaguars giving him such a ridiculous contract led to this Deebo Samuel, led to this A.J. Brown, led to Terry McLaurin, all these guys who want better deals because they're better receivers than him, and they're not getting paid nearly as much. So now Deebo wants out of San Francisco. I hear the Jets could be his landing spot. A.J. Brown, not sure where he would land, but he wants out apparently. I think McLaurin will be taken care of in Washington, but what do? Do you sign one of these guys to huge money, or do you wait and draft? I mean, Washington's drafting 11th. They could get Garrett Wilson. And now you lose McLaurin and add Wilson, you're back where you were, hoping that this Ohio State receiver is as good as that one. So that's risky, but it could be done. Sam Fran, not a lot of draft equity up top, but they can get a wide receiver. But can they get a guy who can run the football like him? No. And they kind of, I guess the relationship there is fallen apart. And the Titans, they can get a wide receiver. This is a very deep wide receiver class. I got 5 guys going in the first round. Second round value is there. And there will be a DK Metcalf type available. Whether it's Treylon Burks or somebody's going to slip into that second or third round that's going to be really good. Amon-Ra St. Brown last year. So I don't know about paying big money to these wide receivers. I get the established ones, like Diggs and and Tyreek Hill, those guys getting the big deals. But Christian Kirk, I like him, but his deal ruined everything for the NFL, and it's really going to change the draft. My point of this is there's going to be trades in the draft, and there were going to be a lot before. I think there's going to be a lot more now. I think teams are going to try to get up there. The quarterback situation at some teams is awful, and there's going to be some teams scrambling to trade up to maybe take a risk on Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett or somebody like that. But now with the wide receiver situation, there's a bit of a drop off to me. I've got Jahan Dotson as number 5. You've got the 2 Ohio State dudes. You've got Drake London. You got Treylon Burks, Christian Watson. There's a lot of good wide receivers out there, right? But can you wait and get one? You might see a run in wide receivers from 10 to 15. If the Jets don't get Debo, it wouldn't shock me at all if they went Drake London at 10. And then you might start seeing teams panic and try to trade up because there's a bit of a drop off. So the draft is fascinating to me. The latest is Aiden Hutchinson is going to go number 1 overall to the Jaguars. I saw a mock where Evan Neal's dropping 8th to the freaking Atlanta Falcons. Charles Cross going ahead of him. Ike Ekwonu going ahead of him. If he falls to the 3rd offensive tackle in this draft, whatever team gets him, if it's Atlanta or someone else, is going to be thrilled. And people are going to look back on this draft and say, what the heck happened? Ekwonu's solid. I think he's solid. This is like Penei Sewell and Slater last year. Everybody said Penei Sewell's a generational offensive lineman. He wasn't. And Slater had a better rookie season. They were close. To me, Evan Neal and everybody else. Gold jacket, good careers. And so I find it remarkable that he could possibly fall down there. And I also think there's going to be a race to the 2 cornerbacks, Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley. Neither one of them is going to get out of the top 10. Sauce could go as high as 4 to the Jets. So I'm expecting a lot of trades, a lot of interesting stuff. I will end this real quickly here. Let's see if I can remember my 5 breakout stars. I can. College football next year, 5 breakout stars. Let me know if I'm missing anybody. Braylon Allen, Wisconsin, running back, freak, right? Josh Downs, North Carolina, love him. A lot of people don't know a lot about him, but he's so good. And this is his 3rd year. He's going to be a 3-and-out guy. He'll be in the first round discussion next year. So fast. And just over the top, spread the field type of guy. Jack Sawyer, defensive end for Ohio State. I could have picked other Ohio State guys. I got so many young guys, but I like Jack Sawyer. Jalen Carter was my number 2 for Georgia. Defensive tackle. Great player. Top 10 pick next year. Dallas Turner for Alabama was my number 1. Willie Anderson, he'll still overshadow him a little bit this year, but watch him grow this season and then next season be the Willie Anderson of college football. So there's just a few quick hitters. I'm going to try to do more of these because I know you people love me. Thanks.